Christmas University Challenge. Asking the questions, Amol Roger.
Hello and welcome to University Challenge, where we're about to play another match in this year's Christmas series. As is now traditional, these seasonal specials are contested not by current students, but by teams of alumni, hoping to do credit to the universities and colleges that taught them. Our first team tonight are all graduates of Manchester Metropolitan University, which has featured on these Christmas specials once before, but has never been represented on our student series. The team includes, firstly, an award-winning business psychologist and entrepreneur whose work focuses on male allyship and workplace inclusion. In 2022, he was inducted into the Black Cultural Archives for services to business and health, and this year he received the Freedom of the City of London for services to equality in business. Next to him is a Professor of Applied Disability and Para-Sport. She's based at Loughborough University, where she created the internationally renowned Peter Harrison Research Centre. She was also the first European recipient of the International Paralympic Committee Scientific Award. Their captain is an actor and comedian whose many credits include major roles in Holby City, Coronation Street and, perhaps most memorably, Bad Girls. She's also an impressionist and has performed as part of the Dead Ringers and Spitting Image teams. Completing the team is the Archdeacon of Salford and Bolton, and alongside her church work, she's a frequent contributor to BBC radio programmes, and she's a writer and poet whose works include Dazzling Darkness and Fierce Imaginings. The latter was shortlisted for the Michael Ramsey Prize for Theological Writing. Let's hear the team from Manchester Metropolitan introduce themselves in the usual way.
I'm Lee Chambers. I studied international business and graduated in 2007.
I'm Vicky Tolfrey and I studied sports science in 1993 and went on to undertake a part-time PhD in 1999 working with the British Wheelchair Racers.
And their captain.
I'm Deborah Stevenson. I studied theatre arts, acting and graduated in 1996.
I'm Rachel Mann. I graduated with an MA in creative writing in 2013 and with a PhD in English literature and creative writing in 2017.
They're up against our first ever team of Brighton alumni, featuring, firstly, a Professor of Psychopharmacology at King's College London, who heads the university's Pharmaceutical Sciences Clinical Academic Group. He's been named one of the top 100 clinical leaders in the NHS, and since 1994 has been lead author and editor of the Maudsley Prescribing Guidelines in Psychiatry. Joining him is a comics creator whose award-winning graphic novels include Britain and Brew Lightly and Livestock. From 2019 to 2021, she was the UK Comics Laureate, and she's also a Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature. They're captained by an actor, presenter and disability rights campaigner. He's won both a Radar and a Diana Award for his activism and made a number of critically acclaimed documentaries for the BBC, while his film credits include Under the Skin and 2024's A Different Man. Their final player is one of the UK's top contemporary illustrators and cartoonists. He's won the Carnegie Medal for illustration on 3 separate occasions, among many other awards, and was appointed Children's Laureate in 2015. He's also the Observer's political cartoonist. Let's meet them.
Hello, I'm David Taylor. I graduated in 1986 in pharmacy and 1991 in clinical pharmacy.
I'm Hannah Berry. I studied illustration and I graduated in 2004.
And their captain.
Hi, I'm Adam Pearson. I studied business management and graduated in 2007.
I'm Chris Riddell. I studied visual communication and I graduated in 1984.
Oh, welcome to University Challenge, guys. You look absolutely terrified, so let's get on with it, shall we? Fingers on buzzers, here's your first starter for 10. In a television comedy drama series that aired from 2004 to 2013, what is the surname of siblings Debbie, Carl, Liam, Philip or Lip, Ian and Fiona and their father Frank, who live on the fictional...
Brighton Pearson.
Gallagher.
It is indeed Gallagher from the series Shameless. Well done. Your bonuses then, Brighton, are on world capitals and food. Used to make the Italian sparkling wine Asti, as well as many sweet or fortified wines, which grape varietal shares its name with the capital city of Oman?
Muscat.
Nominate Taylor.
Muscat?
Yes. Known to be cultivated from at least the 1st millennium AD by the Moche culture, the legume Phaseolus lunatus is often given what common name after a South American capital city?
I'm getting nothing. Lima?
Lima.
Yes, as in the lima bean. Well done. A common sight on Christmas dinner tables, which cultivar of the species Brassica oleracea takes its name from the European capital city, whose landmarks include the Kuckelberg Basilica and the Atomium?
Brussels sprouts.
It is a Brussels sprout. Now let's start the question. Fingers on buzzers. Coined 150 years ago this year in the satirical magazine Le Charivari, what term was introduced by the French critic Louis Leroy in his review of an art show held by the Anonymous Society of Painters, Sculptors, Engravers, etc., whose members included Camille Pissarro, Bert Morisot and Claude Monet?
Brighton Taylor.
Impressionist?
Yes, or Impressionism, yes. Your bonuses, Brighton, are 3 questions on the Academy Awards held in 2024. More than 2 decades after winning his first Academy Award, which 83-year-old Japanese animator won another in 2024 for the semi-autobiographical film The Boy and the Heron?
Dominic Berry.
Hayao Miyazaki.
Yes, well done. Having already won the Palm Dog Award at Cannes, a border collie called Messi was given his own seat at the ceremony thanks to his performance as a child's guide dog in which French courtroom drama? It won Best Original Screenplay for Arthur Harari and the film's director, Justine Triet.
Anatomy of a Fall.
Yes.
Dominic Taylor.
Anatomy of a Fall?
Yes. Having previously won in 2017 for a film written and directed by Damien Chazelle, who claimed her second Best Actress Oscar for her role as Bella Baxter in the fantasy comedy Poor Things?
Emma Stone. Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Emma Stone.
It was indeed Emma Stone, yes. Let's start the question. I need a 3-word term here. In 2023, the UK Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency approved the first CRISPR-based therapy to treat which disease? The treatment works by reactivating expression of gamma...
Manchester Met Stevenson.
If you buzz, you're going to answer?
COVID-19.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. You can hear more of the question, Brighton, but you may not confer. Expression of gamma globin, which outcompetes mutated beta globin that otherwise leads to the formation of elongated crescent-shaped red blood cells.
Brighton Pearson.
Sickle cell syndrome. Sickle cell, yeah.
I'm so sorry, Adam. I can't accept that because, I mean, I think you knew the answer, but the answer we needed was sickle cell anemia, and sickle cell syndrome doesn't quite work here.
Yeah.
Sorry. Fingers or buzzers, here's another start of the question. The only man to win a world heavyweight boxing title on 4 separate occasions, which boxer also holds the distinction of having been the undisputed champion in 2 different weight classes?
Manchester Met Chambers.
If you buzz, you're going to answer?
Alexander Usyk.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. You can hear more of the question, Brighton, but you may not confer. He is the only boxer to have defeated Mike Tyson twice in professional bouts, with the second victory coming after Tyson was disqualified.
Brighton Taylor.
Evander Holyfield.
It is indeed, yes. 3 bonuses for you, Brighton, on the 1848 Royal Institution Christmas Lectures. The Chemical History of a Candle was a lecture series delivered by which English scientist who instituted the tradition of the Christmas lectures in 1825?
Faraday.
Faraday.
It is Michael Faraday, yes. As part of this lecture series, Faraday demonstrated the production of hydrogen and oxygen gases from water using what process, for which he developed 2 laws? Its name means to break down using electricity.
Are we saying electrolysis?
Yes.
Yeah. Electrolysis.
Yes. Faraday also demonstrated how a candle warms objects through what mode of heat transfer, where heated fluids such as air circulate. The fans in modern ovens drive this physical process.
Convection.
Yes, it is convection, yeah. Plenty of time, Manchester. See if we get going with this one. It's a picture round now, and for your picture starter, you're going to see the logo of a UK city council with helpful wording removed. For 10 points, I need you to name the city.
Brighton Riddell.
Portsmouth.
No, you can have a bit more time, Manchester Met, but you may not confer.
Manchester Met Man.
Liverpool.
Yes, of course it is. That's the Liver Bird.
Nicely done.
So for your picture starter, you saw the logo of Liverpool City Council. For your picture bonuses, 3 more British City Council logos. I just need you to name the city in each case. Again, any helpful wording has been removed. First.
Is it Norwich? Is it Norwich? It's light colours.
The fish make me think it's like
the fish
Cornish or something. But go for Norwich. Norwich.
Bad luck. The colours are deceptive. It's Glasgow. Secondly,
Oh gosh, owls. And
Owls and a dead ram.
is it Derby? Is it Derby possibly? Derby Rams, yeah.
Derby?
bad luck. It's Leeds. Finally,
Oh my goodness. I have no idea, genuinely.
Is it somewhere?
Let's just say somewhere in Scotland.
Ascot.
Pick a town.
come on.
Kettering.
Kettering?
No. That's Coventry, and that was Lady Godiva. Fingers on buzzers, here's another starter question. Which British city is this? A headquarters of the Roman 20th Legion, it was later associated with the Anglo-Saxon princess Saint Werburgh. The Norman Marcher Lord, Hugh of Avranches, had a castle here, and it was one of the last royalist strongholds in the Civil War, offering access to Ireland.
Manchester Met Man.
I'm afraid if you buzz, you've got to answer.
Chester.
We'll give you that because it's Christmas. But if you buzz, you must answer as quickly as possible. Your bonuses then, Manchester Met, are on flags featuring a saltire or diagonal cross. First, approved for official use in 1979, the flag of which crown dependency is identical to St Patrick's Cross, but for the addition of a coat of arms and crown above the centre of the cross?
Is it Guernsey? Possibly? I don't...
Guernsey?
Bad luck, it's Jersey. Known natively as the Ikurina, the flag of which of Spain's autonomous communities consists of a white cross over a green saltire on a red field?
Autonomous community.
Basque, try that, yeah, go on.
Basque?
Yes, the Basque Country. Finally, which Caribbean country's flag consists of a gold saltire separating alternating green and black sections?
I think that's Jamaica, isn't it?
Jamaica.
Of course, it's Jamaica. Now start the question now. What group of people are the title figures of a poem by Louise Glick that begins, "Towards world's end, through the bare beginnings of winter, they are travelling again"? Another poem about this group's journey includes the lines, "The camel's gall sought..."
Manchester Met Man.
Is it the Magi?
It is the Magi. Well done. You're on a roll, Manchester Met. 3 questions for you on wins from behind in the 2024 Olympics and Paralympics. First, which British athlete overtook Hayden Wilde of New Zealand in the final lap of the 10-kilometre run to win the men's Olympic triathlon?
Alex Yee.
Nominate Chambers.
Alex Yee.
Well done. In the men's cross-country mountain biking event, which British cyclist overcame a puncture and a 40-second deficit to beat the French rider Victor Koretsky to gold?
No idea. No, I don't know.
Ryan Pidcock. Right, yeah.
Nominate Chambers.
Ryan Pidcock.
I'm so sorry, I can't accept that. It's Tom Pidcock. Bad luck, Lee. Finally, in the women's Paralympic C45 road race, who came from behind to beat the teenage French rider Heidi Gauguin, 27 years her junior? It was her 19th Paralympic gold medal.
Sarah Story.
Well done. Nailed it. Let's start the question now. Released in 2024 by A24 Music, Everyone's Getting Involved is an album of cover versions of songs originally by what American band? The previous year, A24 had restored and re-released the 1984 Jonathan Demme concert film featuring the band...
Manchester Met Man.
Talking Heads.
It is the great Talking Heads, yes. 3 questions for you now, Manchester Met, on snow in literature. Telling the story of a poet who returns home after 12 years and becomes trapped in a town after a snowstorm, the 2002 novel Snow is the work of which writer, who in 2006 became the first and to date only Turkish winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature?
Is it Elif Shafak? Do you want to nominate?
Nominate Man.
Elif Shafak.
She's not won the Nobel, no, it's Orhan Pamuk. Snow is a 1935 poem by which Northern Irish-born poet and writer who also wrote the 1939 book-length poem Autumn Journal and co-authored the 1937 book Letters from Iceland with W.H. Auden?
I think it's Louis MacNeice.
Nominate Man.
Louis MacNeice.
Yes. Gabriel Conroy thinks to himself that snow was general all over Ireland towards the end of The Dead, the final story of the collection Dubliners. By which writer?
It's by, come on, you know, the famous one.
George
James
Bernard Shaw.
Joyce. James Joyce. Yeah.
James Joyce.
Of course it's James Joyce, yes. Right, music round now, 15 points in it. And for your music starter, you'll hear a piece of classical music. For 10 points, name the composer. Anyone? Want to have a guess? No?
Brighton Riddell.
Chopin.
No, you can hear a tiny bit more Manchester Met, but not much more. No conferring.
Manchester Met man.
Rachmaninoff?
No, it was Beethoven. We'll take your music bonuses in a second when we get the starter right. Fingers on buzzers. In aerobic respiration, 6 equivalents of carbon dioxide and water are produced from 6 equivalents of oxygen and 1 equivalent of which 6 carbon sugar. The production of glycogen from this sugar is stimulated by insulin.
Manchester Met Chambers.
Glucose?
It is glucose, yes. For your music starter, you heard Beethoven's Sonata No. 17 in D minor, known as The Tempest. Your bonuses are 3 more pieces from the 19th century that evoke bad weather, and I just need you to name the composer of each. First, from around 1899.
Oh gosh, I feel I should know this. That's a bit early for Dvorak. Oh gosh, it's awful, isn't it? It's awful when you think you know it's sort of it. No, honestly, I can't get it.
No, I don't know.
Take a guess.
No, that was by Debussy. Secondly, from 1881.
It's not Brahms, is it? It's not Brahms. It's worth a punt.
Nominate man.
Brahms?
No, that was by Franz Liszt. Finally, from 1839.
Is that Rachmaninoff?
No, that's too early. Try Chopin. It's too early, but what else are we going to do? Go on.
Chopin?
Yes, that was Chopin. It's the Raindrop Prelude. Scores level. Fingers and buzzers. Here's a starter question. Its low-lying landscape formed by medieval peat digging, what, according to its website, is the only member of the national park family which embraces a city? Its outer reaches include New Mills on the river...
Manchester Met man.
Peak District.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. You can hear more, but you may not confer, Brighton. On the river Wensum and the outskirts of Bungay on the river Waveney. And it's often known informally after the name of a county in East Anglia.
Brighton Taylor.
Norfolk Broads.
Yes, all the Broads. Yes, well done. Yeah, bad luck, Rachel. The New Mills that you're thinking of is a different one, actually. 3 bonuses for you, Brighton, on anatomy. Derived ultimately from the Greek for rough, what medical name is given to the cartilaginous tube or windpipe between the larynx and the lungs?
The trachea.
Yes. Located at the top of the larynx, what leaf-shaped flap or valve prevents ingress of swallowed food, diverting it to the esophagus?
The epiglottis.
Thank God for it. The epiglottis lies close to what U-shaped bone that supports the tongue? It's the only bone in the human body that has no articulation with other bones.
Nominate Taylor.
Hyoid.
Yes, correct. Well done. Let's start the question. Sam Wasson's 2020 book, The Big Goodbye, chronicles the production of which 1974 film whose plot centres on a conspiracy to divert Los Angeles' water supply that is
Manchester Met man.
The China Syndrome?
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. That is uncovered by private detective Jake Gitters, played by Jack Nicholson.
Brighton Riddell.
Chinatown.
It is Chinatown, yes. Bad luck, Manchester Met. 3 questions for you then, Brighton, on an Italian Renaissance painter. A student of Perugino, which painter gives his name to a suite of 4 rooms on the Pontifical Palace in the Vatican, which includes pictorial decorations by the artist commissioned by Pope Julius II?
Michelangelo, that's it.
Michelangelo.
No, that's Raphael. Raphael was born in which Italian town in the region of Marche? This town also gives its name to a reclining nude painting of the goddess Venus by Titian.
Pass.
It's Urbino. Raphael's tomb is located in which ancient church and former temple in Rome? It has an oculus skylight in the centre of the largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world.
The Basilica.
I need more than that.
The Basilica Palace?
No, I can't accept that.
Yeah.
The Pantheon is what I was looking for. I'd have accepted Basilica of St Mary and the Martyrs. Now let's start the question. Meanings of what short word include the sudden stopping of an internal combustion engine at low revs, a standing place for animals.
Manchester Met man.
Stall.
Well done. Yeah, your bonuses are 3 questions on the resignation of US President Richard Nixon, the 50th anniversary of which took place this year. First, of the tapes that the Supreme Court compelled Nixon to release, what 2-word term has come to refer to the one recorded days after the Watergate break-in that confirmed the president's knowledge of the cover-up? The term is generally used for incontrovertible, incriminating evidence.
Is it smoking gun? Smoking gun.
Incontrovertible evidence.
Yes, I think it's smoking gun.
OK, smoking gun?
Yes. Nixon's resignation speech quoted an earlier speech of which former president in praise of the so-called man in the arena, who, quote, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. The original speech was given in Paris in 1910, the year after he left the presidency.
Is it Teddy Roosevelt? Theodore Roosevelt. No, there's 2 Roosevelts. Theodore Roosevelt.
Theodore Roosevelt.
It is, with the man in the arena, yeah. Nixon's presidency ended with his resignation letter addressed to which Secretary of State who received and initialed it at 11:35 a.m. on the 8th of August, 1974?
Kissinger. Henry Kissinger.
Henry Kissinger.
It is the late Henry Kissinger. Picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see a traditional Scandinavian cake. For 10 points, give the name by which it is commonly known.
Brighton Pearson.
Croquembouche.
No, you can have a bit more time, Manchester Met, but you may not confer.
Manchester Met man.
The Tower of Power.
Nice try, but no, that was the Kransekaka. Let's start a question. The architecture of which English county was the subject of the final entry in Nicholas Pevsner's The Buildings of England series? Updated in 2024 for its 50th anniversary, some of the buildings discussed in Pevsner's guide to this county include Weston Park, Shugborough Hall and Lichfield Cathedral.
Manchester Met man.
Staffordshire.
Yes, your bonuses then. For your picture starter, you saw a kransekaka, which is often prepared for important occasions, including Christmas and the New Year. For your picture bonuses, you'll see 3 more sweet European dishes popular during the festive season. In each case, I want you to give me the name of the food in the language of the country with which it is associated. First, I need a Spanish word here.
I don't know. It's like a kind of nougat. I have no idea. I don't speak Spanish.
No, I'm struggling.
Nogare.
No, that is a type of nougat. The Spanish word is turron. Secondly, I want a Portuguese term here.
Oh, goodness me.
I was hoping it was going to be a pasta del nato, but I don't know.
No idea. Absolutely no idea.
No.
Come on.
We don't know.
It's a bolo rei for king cake. And finally, I need you to give me your answer in French here.
It looks like it's a Yule.
It is a Yule log.
Yeah.
It's a Yule log, but
in
in French.
You know, l'arbre de Yule.
Come on.
It would be something like, yeah, glacé chocolat.
Beautifully done, but no. Bouche de Noël. 10 points in it. In anatomy, what 8-letter adjective refers to the 12 individual vertebrae from the bottom of the neck to the lowest pair of ribs, constituting the longest section of the spine? It is derived from the biological term for the section of the body between the neck and the abdomen.
Brighton Taylor.
Thoracic.
Yes, it is indeed. Yeah, your bonuses then, Brighton, the 3 bonuses on the American lyricist Will Jennings, who died in September 2024. Will Jennings was a frequent collaborator with which English musician, contributing lyrics to songs including Roll With It, Valerie and Higher Love, the latter of which earned him a Grammy nomination?
Amy Winehouse.
No, Steve Winwood. Jennings won his first Academy Award in 1983 for his work on the song Up Where We Belong, performed by Joe Cocker and Jennifer Warnes, for which film?
It's Dirty Dancing, isn't it? Is it Dirty Dancing?
I think it was an officer and a gentleman. I think Dirty Dancing this time of my life. An officer and a gentleman.
Yes, it is. Well done. Jennings also co-wrote lyrics for the song Where Are You Christmas, which is sung by Cindy Lou Who in which 2000 Christmas movie starring Jim Carrey?
Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Yeah. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Bad luck. I can't accept that, guys. The film is called The Grinch. The film is sometimes known by the title of the book that it's based on, which is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and therefore you're still wrong.
Wrong on every front.
Wrong on every front. But apart from that, it was great.
Yeah.
Right, another starter question, still very tight. Born on Christmas Eve 1597, Honoré II was the first ruler to be styled Prince of which country? To this day, its sovereign princes are members of the same reigning house of Genoese origin, the House of Grimaldi.
Brighton Riddell.
Monaco.
It is Monaco, yes. Your bonuses, Brighton, are on zoology. In each case, name the order of mammals, for example, primates, to which the following belong. First, for 5 points, meerkats, fossas, genets and sea lions.
Are they rodents?
Mammals, but what's...
Mammals?
No, it's carnivores. Second, the platypus and the echidnas.
Oh, marsupials.
Yeah, those are marsupials.
No, I was looking for monotremes. The platypus is a lot of things, but it's not a marsupial. Finally, capybaras, porcupines, marmots and chinchillas.
Rodents.
Yes, they are rodents. Let's start the question. Listen carefully and answer as soon as your name is called. In Clement Clarke Moore's poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas, 4 of the 8 reindeer have names ending in the letters ER, and 2 have names ending in EN. Name either of the 2 reindeer whose names...
Brighton Pearson.
Blitzen and Vixen.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. 2 reindeer whose names do not end with those pairs of letters.
Manchester Matt Stephenson.
Afraid you've got to answer straight away.
Donner and Blitzen.
No, sorry, it's Cupid and Comet. Now let's start the question. In 1958, Charles David Keeling installed an infrared gas analyzer at the Mauna Loa volcano in Hawaii in order to observe the presence of what chemical compound, whose atmospheric concentration has increased by over 30% in the years since?
Manchester Matt Mann.
CO2?
Yes, carbon dioxide, indeed. Your bonuses, then, are on pairs of words that differ only by the addition of a final letter L for Lima. For instance, grave and gravel. In each case, give both words from the description. First, a mythological ship known for its journey from Iolkos to Kolkis and a common name for potassium tartrate as a byproduct of wine fermentation.
Well, is it the Argo? Is it the Argo or the Argo? Is that the ship or the ship of Theseus? I don't know.
And then would it be Argel or Argol?
Yeah. Or Argon. So is it Argo and Argon? So we've got to give 2.
It's got to be.
It's got to be an L.
Yeah.
Oh, Argo. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm
L.
completely useless.
Come on.
With Argel.
You're not completely useless. You had it. It's Argo and Argol. Bad luck. Bad luck. And at the goal, Manchester Metropolitan of 110 and Brighton of 135. Rachel, you're never completely useless. You're absolutely brilliant all the way through. I'll tell you what was weird about that game is that you guys weren't really taking part for the first 10 minutes. You were way down, and then you had the most fantastic comeback, and it just didn't quite work. I'm so sorry, guys. I can tell you definitively that 110 and losing means that we're not going to see you again. Brighton, 135 may be enough. It may not. We're going to have to wait and see. But well played. Did you enjoy a bit of it at least?
Yeah, it was fun.
It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much. Well done and well played. I hope you could join us next time for another match in this Christmas series. But until then, it is goodbye from Manchester Metropolitan.
Goodbye.
All right.
It's goodbye from Brighton.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.